So you're tuning in today because we're talking about personal branding 101, because it is something that is talked about so much today, although it's not new, but it's talked about so much, and there's really a lot of confusion around it, around what it really means, especially when it comes to you and me, regular people. So I want to share with you a couple of things about personal branding, things that I have come to know based on my own experience, as well as the experiences of my clients. So today I want to talk about what it really means to have a personal brand if you are not a celebrity, what you need to know in order to build yours. And let's also talk about why it is that people with personal brands go further in their careers. And not only do they go further in their careers, they go further faster. Personal branding for regular people just like us. So what does it mean to have a personal brand for you and for me? There is those really common descriptions of personal branding. So there's that one, well, it's your reputation. Yeah, for sure. It is our reputation. And what else? But why does it have a different name? There's that really, really common one that we hear all the time. It's a Jeff Bezos quote. Your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So the first time I heard that quote, I was like, ooh, that kind of scares me a little bit. Like, people might be talking about me. And actually, it's awesome if people are talking about you when you're not in the room. This is when great things happen for you. This is when people are endorsing you, recommending you, putting your name forward for roles. You want people to be talking about you when you are not there. I've heard other people talk about this, that their personal brand is in fact their surrogate self. So it's almost like their brand is out there existing in all the places and spaces that they can't be, because there's only one of us. There's only one me, only one you, but there's a world of opportunities out there for us. And our personal brand allows us to tap into many more of those opportunities. So all of those sayings, I don't know about you, but they kind of leave me confused, or at least they used to. And I still hear from people, okay, yeah, I'm hearing and I'm like reading out these articles and hearing these definitions, but what is it? What does it mean to have a personal brand? So if you're a celebrity, it can mean all kinds of things, but I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about you and me. We're regular people. We're professionals, entrepreneurs. We're parents. We are volunteers. We have a career that includes multiple industries and roles. We're multifaceted people, right? So you might wonder, if you are a multifaceted person, how can I have a brand if I am all of these things? And this is my favorite question because I get it all the time. I kind of consider it my specialty to work with multi-passionate people, people who are multifaceted. Maybe they're serial entrepreneurs, they have a career and they have a business, or they have a really diverse background and career history. And they're like, how do I summarize this in a way that people understand? How do I create a brand out of this? It's totally possible. So let me explain it. Let me explain what it really means in this day and age to have a personal brand. So here's my definition. And I created this definition because I was just not satisfied with the other definitions I was seeing out there. So it's this: personal branding is building trust by communicating your value to your target audience. So you have to know certain things about yourself and about your audience, right? Personal branding is building trust by communicating your value to your target audience. So there's one word in there that really speaks to the true essence and the truth about personal branding. Do you want to guess what it is? It's trust. Trust. That is the biggest currency in the world. It's our biggest currency as people. Trust, right? If you want to get hired as a consultant, if you want to get hired for a job as an employee, people need to be able to trust you. And there's a variety of different ways that we can communicate that, right? Personal branding is being really intentional about how we are describing why you should trust us and putting it forward. Communicating is part of that definition. It's an action word. It's an ongoing activity. It's not something you do just once. Your personal brand is taking ownership over how people see you and knowing why they should trust you and communicating it regularly. So it's not about a logo and it's not about colors. It can be about those things. Those things are great to have, but they're not necessary for all of us. For some of us, they are, for sure, but not for all of us, especially if we're employees. The logo, the colors, nice to have for sure, but not necessarily. You don't need those things to have a personal brand. And there are some people that have those things. They don't have a personal brand. People don't trust them. People don't know about them, but they do have these beautiful logos and colors. So let's not get confused with visual identity, which is your logo, your colors, your fonts, the visual parts of your personal brand with your personal brand, okay? Now, personal branding is meant to support our careers and our businesses. So that means that we don't need to talk about everything there is about ourselves into our personal brand. People don't necessarily need to know that you are volunteering as your kid's soccer coach, or that you have a knitting or puzzle hobby, or that you became, a plant lady during the pandemic. Those are kinds of things you can layer in later. But when it comes to the idea of trust, what do people need to know about you in order to trust you as an entrepreneur, as a professional? It's probably not those things. You need to get crystal clear, though, on what those key things are. Okay. So that brings me to my next point. What do you need to do to build out your personal brand? And how do you do it the right way? Well, what you really need to do first is to start thinking about other people, not about yourself. This is a big misconception when it comes to personal branding, that our personal brands are all about us. It's me, 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 me. Absolutely not. Your personal brand is not really about you. It's about other people. It's about the people that you impact and the people you want to impact. So let's look at that. Let's look at that a little more closely. Who can you impact in your career? Who do you want to impact in your career? Who are the people that you can serve and help? Are they your clients? Are they your colleagues? Is it another department that you need to work with? So that's one group. Now, on the other hand, who can help you go further in your career? Is it a leadership team? Is it leaders in an industry? That's another group. So these are the people that you need to be building trust with. So it's the very first thing that you need to understand is, who are you going to be communicating with having your personal brand? Okay, so now that you know who those people are, what do they need to know about you in order to trust you? In order to trust that you are the right person for the job? In order to trust that you are the person whose name they should be dropping in these senior leadership meetings and saying, yes, she needs to be on this project. You know what? Let's create a role for him. We need to see more of what he can do in this company. That is what you want. That is the power of personal branding. And yes, that is what happens. Okay. So when you know what they need to know about you, now you got to find ways to share that information with them. So these are the expressions of your personal brand. I call them your brand touch points. So right now we really, really emphasize social media, and in some ways, rightly so, because social media and platforms like this, like LinkedIn, we have the opportunity to connect with exponentially more people than we could one-on-one or just as individuals. But social media isn't the only place that we can be having brand touch points, that we can be impacting people, that we can be communicating with them in a way that shapes how they see us. So don't forget about those other places too. Every time you show up in a place where you are coming in contact with those people that we call your audience, that's an opportunity. So virtual meetings, yes, still happening all the time right now. In-person meetings. So there's the planned for ones that happen. There's also the unplanned ones. That's why we call it an elevator pitch. Sounds ridiculous, but you still might run into your VP in an elevator. You don't know she's coming in, but it's a great opportunity to have a private, brief, quick conversation and make an impression on her. So don't waste an opportunity like that. We don't know when things like that are going to happen. Okay, so what you want to do in order to be prepared is to make sure that you are crystal clear on yourself and what you have and what you're already doing that those people are looking for. And then get ready to share it. So now that you are taking those steps, you can start to add to ways of expressing your personal brand. It could be in presentations, it could be public speaking at conferences or different industry events, and it could be by becoming a thought leader and posting more regularly on social media. So this is all about raising your visibility. And you do this so that more and more people know you, like you, and trust you. Know, like, and trust. You've probably heard the know, like, and trust factor before, right? Know you, like you, and trust you. That is what we are going for. So when more people know, like, and trust you, what happens? What happens? So that brings me to my next point, which is, why do people who have personal brands go further in their career? So people with personal brands go farther because people trust them. So think about the well-respected leaders at your company, or the well-respected leaders and business owners in your industry. They're respected because people trust them. And they are known at the company or within your industry because they took opportunities or even created opportunities for people to know about them, meaning they increased their visibility. And then they kept building on that. Okay, now you know about me. There's one touch point. And as those touch points increase, you move from know to like to trust. Because here's the thing, people can't know about, like, or trust what they can't see. If you're being invisible, if you have an empty LinkedIn profile, people can't trust it. People can't trust you. They're not trusting that you can do what you say you're going to do. The absence of information doesn't do anything to build trust with people. So that's why I want to invite you to take that first step. Start thinking about who your audience is. Who are the people you want to make an impact with? Who are the people who can help you get there? Who can help you do that even more? That's your audience. How can you be having more touch points with them and communicating why they should trust you with? So I hope that you will start doing that today. The next step I want you to think about is to join my community, and my program is called Opportunity Magnet, and it teaches you to do all of that on LinkedIn by creating an awesome LinkedIn profile so that you're attracting and you're bringing those people who you've identified as your audience, you're attracting them to your profile. And then when they arrive on your profile, they are very quickly building know, like, and trust, and moving that trust into some kind of action, whether it's reaching out to you to invite you to a job opportunity, inviting you to work with them or work for them. All kinds of things are happening behind the scenes here on LinkedIn. And I want to invite you to be more aware of those opportunities and bring more of those opportunities to you. So I will drop the link to Opportunity Magnet in here later. You can also go to my profile today, and in the featured section, there's a link that'll take you right there. And I invite you to join and become an Opportunity Magnet today. It's a huge and great way to build your LinkedIn profile and your personal brand. It's a 2-for-1. So everybody, I look forward to seeing some more of your questions coming in after, and have an awesome afternoon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.